Hello everyone, so back again to another Unreal development video, and since the last time I've been very busy, so we're going to go through a couple of things here. So we're going to start off in the demo level again. As with the last time, you can see I went ahead and made this room, which is using Tomb Raider textures for the walls and the floor, as we covered last time. It uses affine texture warping like the original PlayStation models, and also we've got Leon here as a placeholder. His textures kind of warp when you get close, and we've got dithering. Now, we went over that in the last video. I also showed a little bit of throwing around some of these models, but let's go over a couple of new things here. We've got some extra stuff that I was showing off. We've got the portable heater that we made just before Christmas, which looks pretty neat. We got this air conditioning unit, and then we've got a couple of extra things. We got the keypad here, which looks pretty neat. These are all like 128 by 128 textures, I think. We got the paper shredder, really old paper shredder that I managed to get from a video in terms of the top texture there. We got a hand dryer for the bathroom that I got when I went on a trip to the cinema recently to watch Jojo's Rabbit. Managed to take pictures of the hand dryer in there, so now we've got this really cool hand dryer. Because of the lighting, it's a bit awkward. But then we've got a different coloured cabinet, which fits with this one. It's the same model, just with different textures. Just picking up some flashlight batteries there. We've got this cool computer that's like one unit, that has a cool keyboard, and we've got these cabinets. These are all, again, really low poly models that I've done, which have like 128 by 128 textures, or even less in some cases. These cabinets are done by just having the front-facing texture and then just stretching that a little bit along the sides and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Recently I made a toilet. That was fun, kind of getting that done, just doing it really low poly. The mesh, I tried doing something that looked like Metal Gear Solid toilets, because they're pretty low poly, but I ended up trying to give it a little bit more shape, so it doesn't look too bad. Then we've got the funniest, or some of the funnier things here that I had to go look at. This is a event that I've done recently that looks pretty cool. Again, all this stuff has texture warping, but this is for like either a toilet or a kitchen area. And then we've got that's like a small office scanner. That looks pretty neat from most angles. That's going to be like a throwable object, but it's going to be pretty heavy. Then we've got a very old TV here, like an old CRT monitor. We've got a sofa, and then we've got another large office printer that looks like a laser jet, and then we've got this floor cone. Now, in order of crazy stuff, before I forget as well, we got different doors here. These door textures, I'll have to show them off when I get more flashlight battery, or just restart. All these door textures are for different areas. So, for instance, in the beginning of the facility, you'll see a lot of green fire doors upstairs. There's a couple of grey ones on the bottom floor with different sized kick plates, depending on what's being shipped around. So, like, for instance, you'll find that a lot more heavier objects that can bang into things, well, you're going to have higher kick plates for that. We've also got some other more normal-looking wooden doors, but these are all coloured based on the real facility that I was in, because this is all based off a real-life area. We've got the green and red fire doors, the grey ones, and the blue ones, and these separate different sections. So, main office is more like these areas down here, and then the blue ones are for the server room at the back in one of the larger areas. So you'll be seeing a lot more of those over the other side of the facility, really. But these are spread out and done differently. What I'm going to do is I'm adding a Dino Crisis feel to it. So at the moment where you can see through these panels, what I'm going to have is like the planes that have like a black gradient that's like slightly grayed, just so that you can't see through them. I was kind of debating on this, but I thought, well, I'm basing it off like Dino Crisis, Res Evil, and I thought it would be way more scarier to not be able to see through the door rather than to be able to perfectly see through it and see what's coming. So I figured you know, try with that and see what happens. So during testing, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, some of these items at, like at this end, I found on reference-wise textures. I found on like Google or Amazon. Then with these textures for the plug sockets, I've mainly found those at a local hardware store and just went in and took pictures of them. For this keypad and everything, I got off Google again. The portable heater there, again, that's off Google, just from different angles. The intercom here and these emergency escape buttons, those were off Google. This was from a video. That entire TV section was from multiple parts of Google. I actually made the cabinet ones myself. They don't look too bad. The hand dryer, like I said, went in a cinema and managed to get that in real life. The computer, real life, from the actual location, managed to take one of the computers with me when I was leaving. So, yeah, that's the actual computer from the actual location, which I think might still have some information on it. This, like I said, this is from my own kitchen, the place I'm currently living, and then the toilet, again, that's from the place I'm currently living in, but the TV and the scanner here in particular, and the cone here have funny stories to them. The TV and the scanner, I went to the local dump, and I'd seen them while I was busy getting rid of some stuff, and just thought, you know what, I'll see if there's anything there. Saw these two and thought, you know what, these go really well, these assets, with what I'm doing. I kind of need them. So I asked the dump security, look, can I just take photos of these? It's all I want, nothing else. And the dump security were nice enough. So I don't know how like actual companies get these photos in real life of everything, whether they just source them or whether they go up and ask. But yeah, those are sourced from real objects, and they look really good. I really do like them like that. The photos just getting low resed and put on the models has actually worked really well. And then the cone here was one of the most recent ones where I went into a shop and saw that cone and immediately went, oh, I need that, you know, because it's part of the actual location that I was in. They actually had those. So I just said, look, I need a picture of this cone. And sure enough, they asked security, and the next minute they're like, yeah, you can take pictures of that cone. So I've been freaking people out by going into places and taking pictures of this stuff and then using them in my game. The printer here, that is just a load of different shots from Google just thrown on a box. But the funny thing is, like, I used to do, the way I started out, 3D, was throwing textures on boxes, and people used to tell me from like different modding communities, like, oh, that's just crap, all you're doing is throwing textures on boxes, it doesn't look good. But actually most of this is just textures on boxes, and I'm actually pretty happy with how it's come out. So I'm enjoying this so far. I mean, let's just get an unlit shot here of some of these assets. As you can see, this is without any shading, so we can see the amount of detail on them. So we've got the very low res heater here, and then we've got some of the more higher res assets. I mean, I think I might lower the resolution on the sockets and things, because it doesn't really match up with anything else. But then as we go down here, the assets become more similar to each other in terms of the low res. So we've got like this portable heater here, which funny enough does actually have like an underside to it. I went crazy with some of the details, but then when I lowered the resolution, it kind of got rid of some of them, so I wasn't too happy about that. But it kind of fits the aesthetic overall. We've got the hand dryer here, which doesn't actually have a back to it because it doesn't need one really. Then we've got the inside of the drawer here, which is kind of clipping at the moment, but it's not too big a deal. As you can see, that texture warps like it should do on the PlayStation 1. We've got the toilet, which it doesn't look amazing when it's like that, but when it's got dynamic lighting on and other stuff, it looks pretty neat. Got the computer with its low-res looking keyboard and everything. We've got the front of it there. I think I might need to smudge out some of the texture there because of the branding, but we should be fine. Then we've got the scanner here. This slightly lower cabinet that I made, again, from sourcing stuff online. The same with the sofa, actually. I sourced that from a website that was selling sofas and just went, okay, I'll slap that on a box, and that works. There's the TV and it's low poly glory. And then we've got the cone and the other printer here, which does have an underneath to it because I plan on having it movable. The idea is some of these objects are going to be thrown, some of them are going to be interactive so that you can set off like sounds and things just to distract the enemy. Like the cone, I'm thinking of having it like you can knock into it and throw it. I'm really enjoying this project so far. It's keeping me happy, it's keeping me entertained. I'm having fun low resing things and then having it look like it's out of a PlayStation. Recently, I've been getting reference materials. Went and bought a shell of a security camera off Amazon for cheap, so I could actually get reference for security camera models properly, because Google's kind of hard to come by some images on them that are from the correct angles. And then I've been investing in a couple of older PlayStation games. So yeah, I'm going to be playing a lot of PlayStation stuff this year, I think, just while I work on this, just to get it all done, because I want it to look as best as it can, and obviously get it to play as best as it can. So it's all going to be in the testing, but I like working on these assets just to see how things will look and obviously flesh out the office a little bit more. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!